Okay, today we are going to solve example 11.6, basically from chapter 1 of second year. And for this, we are having a charge Q equals to 3 microcoulomb present at point O, and it is at distance of 2 centimeter from point M and a 1 centimeter from point N. We have to calculate V, or you can say the potential difference between point M and N. So for this we have to calculate potential at point M, having formula kq by r, and putting the values k 9 into 10 raised to power 9 and the value of q, which is 3 into 10 raised to power minus 6, and divided by r is basically 2 centimeter. Converting into meters, we get 2 into 10 raised to power minus 2, and we get 13.5 into 10 raised to power 5 volts. Now we'll calculate the potential at point M, that is Vn equals to kq by r. You can use some subscripts like M and N for r. Yes, as I'm mentioning. So the value of k is again 9 into 10 to power 9, q 3 into 10 to power minus 6, and value of rn is basically 1 centimeter. Converting into meters, 1 into 10 to power minus 2. So on solving it, we get the value 27 into 10 to power 5 volts. And the potential difference now, Vm minus Vn, we will put both the values, and what we get as the answer, we are having minus 13.5 into 10 raised to power 5 volts. So that's how example 11.6 will be solved. Coming towards example 11.7, consider we are having 4 charges placed on the sides of a square, like taking them as q1, q2, the third one would be q3 and q4, and I'm also giving the names like A, B, C and D to the 4 corners of the square. We have to calculate at point O, that is the center of the square. At this point we have to calculate the potential because of all the 4 charges. So and the distance between all the points, or you can say this one side of the square, is basically equal to D. You can choose D or R or whatever name. So with this, D is basically equal to 1.5 meters, and since it is square, so every side would be of the same length. And they have asked us to calculate the potential at O, and we have formula V equals to kq by r. We don't have r in this case, like we have to calculate this r, right? So for this particular thing, what we will do, I will draw the square again and dividing it by drawing a diagonal, and this is again perpendicular, this is base, and this is basically hypotenuse, and I have to calculate and I have to get this, find out this value. So using the Pythagoras theorem, what we will do, which is applicable on the right angle triangles, what we'll do, I will definitely use the hypotenuse side. I have to find out this, but I don't have a hypotenuse side, so I will just know that if this half is r, then what would be the full? It would be r plus r equals to 2r. So I will write 2r, which is basically the hypotenuse as well. So it is basically equal to base square plus perpendicular square. So this is basically the formula for the Pythagoras theorem. Putting the value and square root, what we get, 2r equals to under root d square plus d square, and we want r, so dividing that 2 on the other side, we are putting values, and we get the value of r equals to 1.0606 meters. So this is the value of r, that is the distance between O and the point charge. Now we will calculate the value of potential, electric potential. We will collectively find out it, and for this what we'll do, kqa divided by ra, and similarly kqb divided by rb, KQC divided by RC plus KQD, sorry, D divided by RD. And that's how we will calculate the collective potential. And on putting the values, we are taking K and R both common, because both are available as same value in all of the four potential values. So 9 into 10 is to power 9 and 1.0606 will be taken as common, and the rest of the values inside the bracket. And the value would be, for the first charge, it is basically 0.02 microcoulomb into 10 raised to power 6, right? Then plus 0.04 10 to 10 raised to power minus 6, and the third one is basically a negative charge, so I'll put it in the bracket. It will be minus 0.03 into 10 raised to power minus 6, and the last charge, which is again 0.04 into 10 raised to power minus 6. And upon solving the whole of this equation, I get the final result, which is basically, you can use calculator for that, which is basically V equals to 593.9 volts. And this is how we have solved our example 11.7. Coming towards the next article, which is basically field and the potential gradient. You already also know what is field. Field is basically the region around some charge in which electrostatic effect can be felt. And how can you draw it? You can hypothetically draw field lines around it. So for the positive charge, the field lines would be outward as I'm drawing, and for the negative charge, the field lines would be inward. And we have already discussed a lot about this, so I'm not going into the detail, just showing you that if I'm taking some point on this field line at some distance r, and when this at the same distance r, I'm drawing these points, and r for every distance or every point which I have chosen, r, the value of r is same. And you can see I'm drawing r same for every point, and if I'm joining all the points, what I'm getting a surface, and this surface is known as equipotential surface, right? For the same case, if I'm taking any points, as far as r is same, you can draw the equipotential surface, and when r is same, the potential on that point would be the same, because v is depending upon r. As you can see in the formula, v equals to kq by r. Since q and k are not changing, the main thing is r. So if r is not changing, v will not change, right? And by the name equipotential surface, it has been shown that it is offering the same potential at every point on the surface, right? Now if I'm taking two like charges, like I'm taking two positive charges, and I draw the field for these two charges, what will happen? Definitely both the fields will repel each other, and the center would be the void region, and we name it as the null region or the void region, or whatever name you want to assign. And at this point, potential would be equal to 0, right? And in this particular case, we know that v is a scalar quantity. Since v is a scalar quantity, so not having any direction, and if you find a positive or a negative charge with v, what does it mean? If v is positive, that means q is positive, and v is negative, that means q is having a negative charge, right? So it's basically the charge on q, not the direction of v. Now here I'm taking two unlike charges, and I've drawn their field, and at the center the field is very strong, so the value of v would be very strong in the center, right? So if we are taking any points A and B, or like moving, and if you're taking a test charge Q naught, which is basically the test charge which I'm going to take over here, and move that charge in that particular field, then what will happen? Either it moves from A to B, or you can take that distance as delta r, and you want to calculate the value of work done when it is moving from against the field. When it is moving against the field, you will get again cos of 180 degree. And if you change the points, like if I mention A and B, now changing the direction of displacement as well, what we will get, we are now moving in the direction of field. So now the theta would be, in this case, would be equal to 0 degree. Like we are having the same directions, right, for the displacement and force. So putting the value of F, which is basically Q naught E, and the value of delta R, right? And when you open the dot product, you will get the maximum value, right? So this is equation 1, which we have got for work. And there is another equation which we have also started, which is basically minus Q naught V. And this is basically the by definition formula of electric potential, work done per unit charge. And this negative sign, what does it indicate? It shows that there is a decrease in potential occurs, right? So for this decrease in potential, what we are having next, we can see that we are having now two formulas for work done, right? Now since we are having two formulas for work done, we will equate them, right? And on comparing the two equations, what we get, Q naught E delta R is equal to minus Q naught V. Since Q naught is available on both sides, so we can cancel it out, and E equals to minus delta V by delta R. And this is basically potential gradient. So the potential divided by change in the displacement, this is basically the potential gradient. And this negative sign, what does it indicate? This negative sign indicates that there is a decrease, or you can say E is basically opposite to the increase in the potential, right? The direction in which the potential is increasing, E is basically opposite to that side, right? And how you can define it, then the rate of change of electric potential delta V with respect to the displacement delta R is basically known as the potential gradient. And I've explained the negative sign as well. This is basically analogous to the gravitational effect. Thank you so much.